Now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Kevin McDonald from Comptia, and we are so glad that he is here to talk about Comptia certification paths. Kevin McDonald is a manager with broad experience in all aspects of strategic and tactical operations in small to mid-sized business-to-business companies. He has a direct experience with technology products and services, particularly in the learning, corporate education, and healthcare industries. He is interested in management and marketing assignments with growth companies, particularly with respect to mutually profitable distribution channels, alliances, and partnerships. As a reminder to all our attendees, this conference is being recorded. We will have Q&A at the end of this presentation. Please use the Q&A tool if you have a question for the speaker. The stage is all yours, Kevin. You can now share your content and unmute yourself. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everybody. Greetings from the Washington, D.C. area in the U.S., where I am based for Comptia. Comptia is based in the Chicago suburbs here in the U.S., if you did not know that. And I'm going to talk today about Comptia certification paths. Now, I realize that perhaps all of you just had an hour with VMware and VMware talking about their certification paths. So maybe up front it would be helpful. I just talked about, well, wait a second, what's different? All these certifications, right? There's more than enough IT certifications out there. Comptia, first of all, we're the IT industry's trade association. Okay, a little bit about us. All right, we're not a vendor. We're not a tech company. We don't have hardware and software that we want to sell to you, okay, or to anyone. We do many things to grow and develop and professionalize the global IT industry. Okay, there's a quick slide on our values. And by major categories, the things that we do in Comptia. We are going on 40 years that we have been in existence. And I work in the area that's described there as certification, right? Where over 30 years ago, the IT industry basically came to us and said, would you please start creating vendor-neutral IT certification exams so that we can better vet our help desk workers, so that we could better vet our network administrators, right, and our security administrators, so that we have a better idea of what these people know and what they can do, so that we hire the right people, so that we promote the right people. And so that's how Comptia got its start. We also do many other things to grow and professionalize the IT industry. But certifications is where I work for Comptia. You just heard the VMware guys, excellent presentation from them. To give you a sense, our certifications are all vendor neutral, okay? Even where we have a certification exam that is specific to a niche in tech where a vendor has plurality, if not majority market share of that business, when we create our certification exams, we do not bow down, for example, to Cisco systems when we create our Network Plus and when we update our Network Plus certification exam. You get the full landscape, the full view of what's going on in internet networking with Comptia Network Plus. Most of the 400,000+ who have earned Comptia Network Plus over the years, many of them have followed on with vendor-specific training and certification with Cisco to earn their CCNA, and perhaps follow on and earn their CCNP and other certifications as they need. So just if you're trying to think of Comptia and more certifications, who needs them? Well, rookies, newbies, career changers, all right, and others who are in their first or second job in IT who've not earned any certifications and want to be able to prove to their colleagues, to their bosses, to future employers what they know and what they can do. All of those people, and that's a large number of people globally, they all are interested in, and many of them pursue Comptia certifications. Why bother to certify? We get that question a lot. Well, you know, I can just take the training, right? I can take the training and then I'll know what I need to know. Well, certainly the training is good and helpful, and hopefully if it's good quality training, there's knowledge transfer, right? But again, in IT, for many IT jobs, It doesn't help if you've completed college and you have a college degree. That's not what bosses, hiring managers, that's not what they want to know. It's not what they want to see. It's what do you know specific to that IT job role, and what can you do, and prove it to me. And one of the best ways to do that is to be able to say that I've earned my Comptia A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, and our other of our 14 certifications that do that. Comptia certified people get promoted faster. They're more likely to be promoted. They overall they just add greater value to the enterprise, right? And that's not Comptia. If you look down the footer there, that's International Data Corp. That's IDC that's doing that research for us. Why bother with our certifications? Okay, we have a team that grows all the time. There's at least a dozen full-time people, most of whom went to college to learn how to create psychometrically validated certification exams, how to create true tests. So we have high quality exams. They're all ISO, International Standards Organization. They're all ANSI accredited. Okay, and vendor neutral. So the focus is always on the latest skills, not on any one vendor's technology. So our focus makes it easy for our graduates, our certificates, to be able to move between technologies. So you might start out in networking, working for a Cisco shop. Okay, get your CCNA, maybe also get your CCNP. But then if you start to work on other jobs, other projects, where it's Juniper, where it's other networking gear, well, you have to know about that too, right? And Comptia Network Plus, as the example there, gives you that full and firm foundation that would make it easier for you to move from Cisco gear to Juniper gear to other networking gear. Okay. All right, I want to talk about our pathways and spend a good bit of time talking about our new data analytics pathway and Comptia Data Plus. I want to stop for a minute and just, Judy, are there any questions so far? Any comments, any issues, questions from anybody who's dialed in?
I don't see any yet. I think you can keep going for now.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, very good. So those of you who have known Comptia, you're probably already familiar with our infrastructure certifications. And if you've been paying attention in the last half dozen years or so, probably also familiar with our cybersecurity certifications. I joined Comptia 13 years ago when, for the most part, Comptia was A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus. All right, we have built many more, and we've created legitimate pathways now for people wanting to get into tech and then wanting to progress in an IT career with additional follow-on certifications. So we're well known for our infrastructure certs. Okay, we're pretty well known and increasingly well known for our cybersecurity certs. Starting the beginning of this year, we have created and are on tap for the next several years to create a new third IT pathway around big data and data analytics. We've created and published, as of February of this year, our first new certification exam in 4 years. It's Comptia Data Plus. I want to talk about it a little bit. You will get these slides. I'm not going to read to all of the data here. This is just an update of all of our certs, the ones that we launched this past year. I will leave that to you for a later time. Comptia Data Plus. Okay, what is this about? It's early career. Okay, vendor neutral. No, this is not a certification that's going to train you on how to use any of the different data package tools. Microsoft Power BI. No, this is not training on Microsoft Power BI. Tableau. No, it's not training on Tableau. Okay, this is basics. Let me first get to kind of why we're bothering to do this. We have a research group, so the better part of 10 full-time people that create several dozen research products annually on the global IT industry. They've been tracking big data analytics for a number of years. And over the last couple of years, we have finally become persuaded that not only is there a substantial training opportunity for many, many more people to acquire data analysis skills for their jobs, but it's also a certification opportunity. And so we've created Comptia Data Plus to fill this growing need. If you look at the third block here, over 900,000 job ads globally in just the past 12 months asking for data analysis skills, right? And interestingly, if you look far right, okay, 70% of those fall outside IT, right? So for those on the line, for those on the call who are involved with maybe commercial training operations, you need to understand, you get interested in offering Comptia Data Plus training for your students, 70-ish% of those students are not in your database today. They don't work currently in IT jobs. They work in any and all other functional areas in organizations. That might be operations, it might be sales, it might be marketing, it can be almost any functional area in any type of organization that through their website or just through the nature of their business, day in and day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, accumulate a lot of data, mountains and mountains of data. Okay, and Comptia Data Plus, right, is going to help analysts in many different parts of an organization to be much more efficient on how they are able to analyze data, how they are able to present and visualize their data. We break down the different skill sets into three main categories here for Comptia Data Plus: how you collect and store the data, how you process and organize it, and then finally, once you've got insight that you want to show to stakeholders, how you do that visualization, how you show your insight, show your results to your stakeholders. Okay, this is just a slide that talks about all the inefficiencies that exist when you cannot efficiently analyze large data sets, keep large data sets clean. Okay. Here's some specific detail about what Data Plus is about. First of all, for someone who comes in, someone who can successfully complete the Data Plus training and certification, it makes them at level set with somebody who's got 1.5 to 2 years of hands-on experience in an analytics heavy job role. Okay. Make sure you understand it. You don't need 18 to 24 months to be eligible to start to train and prepare for Comptia Data Plus. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is after you come through the Data Plus training and certification process, you're at a level with somebody who's got 1.5 to 2 years of experience in that field. Okay. Some sample job titles, they usually have the word analyst in them, and you'll see down the lower right the main domains for the Data Plus exam objectives. I'll leave some of this additional deep dive information to you, but a tremendous amount of folks who are starting to pursue our new Data Plus certification, all right, they've been doing something else for the organization. A lot of times they've been asked, hey, we have all this data coming in through the website. We've just bought Tableau, we've just bought Power BI, we've just bought SAS, we've just bought some tool. Can you help us to try to make some sense out of it? Do some digging, do some deep diving into the data, and try to find some insight for us, and let us give us some answers that might inform our strategy. So there's a lot of folks who their analyst wasn't on their job title a couple years ago. Now it is, from all functional areas of an organization, and they're being asked to try to do more with large data than what's been done in the past. So some sense there on just a potential candidate profile. I'll leave that to you for later. Okay, why are more and more people interested in analytics offerings? Okay, at the top, preparing to advance in analytics. They're already in it, they're already trying to do it, and they want to be able to do it better, more efficiently. Or career changers at the top of the list. Folks who, whatever they're doing, maybe it's something that's kind of related. Now they want to get into analytics. Okay. Just a couple of quick slides on global demand. I know that we have a global audience here. This is from Asia Pacific, giving you a sense the cumulative annual growth rate for data analytics jobs and skills, 13.5%. And the Asia Pacific, okay, specifically in some verticals in Asia Pac, banking, shipping, pharmaceuticals, okay, are large chunks of these new data analytics jobs that are out there. In the UK, Okay, if you look flush right, in just the last year, the last 12 months, over 200,000 job postings that include a request for data skills. And that's just in the UK. Okay. Here's a quick slide you can check later. How does Comptia Data Plus as a certification exam, how does it compare? SAS has one, it's vendor specific to SAS's product. Tableau has one, vendor specific to Tableau's product. That's good. Okay, but if you're maybe going to use tools other than Tableau, use tools other than SAS, look to Comptia Data Plus, get the firm foundation, vendor neutral, see the whole landscape first before you go and pursue vendor specific certifications. Okay, that's our message. Okay, just a thought that data is big, it's only getting bigger, it's the new oil, right? And so we have to learn how to more efficiently mine it and then work with it to find insight to inform our strategy. Back on slide 11, when we had all the Comptia logos and the certification paths, right, we at the bottom we showed above Data Plus, grayed out data systems, and then to the right, data science. I want to briefly talk about that because this is not just a single certification strategy from Comptia, right? We've started with Data Plus, okay? And by the way, 6 months in, the uptake on it has been very substantial. A lot of times with a brand new IT certification exam, not a lot happens in the first year while everybody kind of kicks the tires, word gets around about it before people start to pursue it. And earn it. That's not been the case with Data Plus. It's had a very strong uptake the first 6 months of its availability. We are now actively working, and this is beta. Okay, there's a lot of steps, a lot of work still to be done, but we're working on a similar certification tentatively for publication next fall of 2023. That might be called Data Systems Plus, but it's a data management systems certification. It'll be at the same level of complexity as Comptia Data Plus, so it's for an early career person, okay, just like Data Plus, specifically about the installing, configuring, monitoring of databases and data stores, okay? And then following on from Data Plus and Data Systems Plus, again, beta name, Data Science Plus, as a follow-on 2 to 3 years from now. And after we get Data Systems Plus out and launched, then focus on Data Science Plus, beta name. Don't take that to the bank. Much can change over the next couple of years as we bring this together. All right, but this is advanced statistical analysis, machine learning techniques. There'll be some artificial intelligence techniques that will be in Data Science Plus as well. Okay, so that what we will have created is a 3 certification path: Data Plus, Data Systems Plus, Data Science Plus. For somebody who wants to choose that as their IT career pathway, they will be well situated, well positioned with those 3 certifications available over the next several years from Comptia. And I want to just stop again and see if at the moment, specific to Comptia Data Plus or our data certification strategy generally, any comments, questions?
We don't have any specific questions about that, but we're getting some general interest about it for sure. I think Data Plus is new to a lot of people here.
Yep. It's our newest cert, first new cert in over 4 years. Some of that delay is, of course, the COVID lockdown, but also Comptia has been getting better and better at doing its research and understanding if a new trend in IT is both a training opportunity, which they often are, but is it also a certification opportunity? At the end of the day, we're the largest, far and away, the largest vendor-neutral IT certification body, IT accreditation body, and we are we are smarter about it these days than in previous years, about understanding what trends truly are certification opportunities. And we very much think big data analytics is one of those. And so we've come out with Data Plus and planning these additional certifications to follow on. Okay.
Great. I think that'll be a fantastic opportunity maybe for us to collaborate and build some labs around it.
Possibly. So I want to next step back, come back. Okay. And I want to talk about something. My sense is we have a really technical group that's dialed in to the session today. And so I don't want to get too basic, but I do need to talk for a couple of minutes about Comptia IT Fundamentals Plus. All right, this is a sub-foundational certification from Comptia. This is a short and sweet and easy certification from Comptia. It is the basics of technology. It is sub-foundational. Okay, it exists because about a half a dozen years ago or so, we had a good number of our training partners in our channel come to us and say, "Hey, we're having too many students come into A+, and they're drowning. They're finding it to be too much." Okay, and it's true, like with most all IT certifications, the body of knowledge for IT certs, as a general rule, grows. It only grows over time, over the years. Okay, and in general, Comptia updates its certification exams once every 3 years. Okay, sometimes more rapidly than that if the market that cert, the job role or job roles that cert covers has changed substantially. We will update a certification more significantly, more quickly than 3 years. Okay, but based on that feedback from our many partners, okay, they said, it would be better if we had something short and sweet, something quick, something inexpensive that was basic tech to be able to put in front of a prospective career changer into IT, to be able to put in front of somebody who thinks that they are capable and want to come into IT work, or they're being kicked in the rear end by their boss or their parent and saying, go learn some technical skills and so you can work in IT. IT Fundamentals Plus is a very good, quick and inexpensive test for someone to gauge their ability to acquire technical knowledge and skills, and also their desire to be able to do this. And so IT Fundamentals Plus doesn't get a lot of airtime in Comptia talks and presentations. Okay, we've got lots of other certifications that are certainly more interesting, but if you're an employer and you've got a lot of open IT job recs out there and you're having a hard time hiring people, and that's often the case in IT, there are usually more jobs, many more jobs than there are people qualified to take them. Okay, IT Fundamentals Plus with your existing workforce. Okay, if you can do a little evangelizing inside your organization, do a little promoting. Okay, this is a very quick and good litmus test for many as to whether or not they have what it takes to have success with Comptia A+. And if somebody can get through and have success with Comptia A+, they likely can also have success with Comptia Network Plus, and away we go. Right? So I commend IT Fundamentals Plus to you. You'll get this slide deck. Okay, there's more information about it on our website. All right. I would just encourage you, if you're in need of more IT workers for your group or for your company, IT Fundamentals Plus is a good, fast, and inexpensive litmus test for whether or not somebody is in fact situated for IT work. If they can't pass the IT Fundamentals Plus exam, there is an exam at the end of this, so if they can't pass that, they're very likely not cut out for IT. And they're very, very likely going to struggle mightily with Comptia A+. And perhaps they should look at other fields. Okay, Comptia IT Fundamentals Plus. All right, I'm not going to spend time on Comptia A+ here, other than to know that there are slides on it here in this slide deck. Comptia A+ continues to be our most popular certification exam, with the exception of Comptia Security Plus. Okay, Comptia A Plus was our first cert 30 plus years ago. It is still wildly popular today. It is around the world. It is recognized and very well understood that if you want to do help desk, if you want to be a field service technician, if you want to do certain types of service management work, you need to have your Comptia A plus. There's no argument. You just do. Okay, and you just need to go and get it. Earlier this year, we brought out the latest version of Comptia A plus, the 1100 series. The 1000 series exams, the old exams, if you will, they end of life on October 20th. If you or if any of your people have been training, studying, preparing for the Comptia A plus 1100 series exams, time is growing short. Okay, they got a couple of months left to register for, to take and sit their exams. Do not wait until the last couple of weeks before October 20th, before the October 20 end of life. Don't do that. There will be large numbers of procrastinators, because often that's what they are, who anytime in the last 3 years trained on, prepared in some way, shapes, or forms for Comptia 1000 series exams, and now they're like, I got to take the exams now, or I have to start over again with the 1100 series exams, which has many changes in it from the 1000 series. So encourage any of your employees, any of your colleagues who have been thinking about getting their A plus, and they've invested time and money over the last 3 years on the 1000 series exams, make sure that they register for and get a slot well before October 20th. Because what always happens with our most popular exams is the last few weeks before the exam's end of life, all the spots in Pearson VUE test centers, and even the Pearson VUE OnView, the online testing for A plus, it'll happen for Security Plus the end of next year when we update Security Plus exam. All the slots are taken. Okay, and it becomes impossible then to test before the certification end of life. So pay attention to that. October 20th, Comptia A plus certification exams end of life. We also updated Comptia Network Plus this past year. By the way, new version of that, 008, that is now out and about. So be aware of that. Okay, Comptia Security Plus. It's been about 3 years ago now that Security Plus ran by Comptia A plus to become, by annual student volume, to become our most popular certification. Okay, and why is that? Well, while there's still a very large general IT skills gap of several 100,000 open and available job postings today, okay, for help desk, for field service technicians, for service management and similar job roles, okay, the IT cybersecurity skills gap is even larger and more painful to organizations of all kinds. And so we have many more people. Generally speaking, until a handful of years ago, the people who pursued Security Plus, they got their A plus, then their Network Plus, then their Security Plus. And they either worked in jobs or they were pursuing jobs where they could be a security administrator or very similar job title, job role in their organization. One of the biggest changes that we've seen in the last few years are many more job titles, many more job roles, tertiary to baseline security skills, knowledge and skills in an organization, who are now saying, no, I need to get, or I'm being told to get my Security Plus as well. Okay, and so these are everybody from IT project managers, people who work supporting, the actual tech guys in IT groups or in SOCs or NOCs. So many more kind of tertiary job roles are now either being told or they're wanting on their own for their own professional development. Okay, I don't do cybersecurity. That's not the main thing I do, but I need to be more savvy and get and acquire all the knowledge and skills around baseline cybersecurity. And so I'm going to get my Security Plus as well. Okay, so let me just do a check here, and we're 30 minutes in already. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. You will get these slides. It's important to know that, yeah, we now have a series of cybersecurity certifications. They're 100% content. It's all about cybersecurity, different aspects of it. But please know and understand that several of our other certifications, IT Fundamentals is 20% cyber. A Plus is now 28% cyber. Network Plus, 37% cyber. And Comptia Cloud Plus, which is one of our newer certs and fastest growing, okay, that's even 20% cyber. Think about it, it has to be, because any certification about cloud computing, anything that's technical, has to include securing the cloud or clouds, right? And so we have a cybersecurity focus around all of our certs. Just quickly go through 3 of our newest cyber certs over the past handful of years that Comptia has brought out. This is our fastest growing of all of our new certs, CISA Plus, Cybersecurity Analyst Plus. Okay, the name of the cert is the job role. If you go to the U.S. Department of Labor, BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, they track the growth or shrinkage of job roles. Okay, not just here in the U.S., but they do some tracking globally. The fastest growing job role, okay, for 4 years, I believe now, and it's forecast to continue to still be the fastest growing job role for at least the next couple of years, is cybersecurity analyst. Okay, and Comptia has a certification. This naturally follows on where Comptia Security Plus leaves off. Think of this as intermediate cybersecurity skills, blue team defense. Okay, Comptia CISA Plus, it's already on its 2nd version. We've updated it in the past year. Okay, information here on what's in it, the exam objectives, typical job roles for students who pursue it. Okay, against some of the competitor exams that are out there, how does it stack up? The answer is very well. We also have a 2nd intermediate cyber skills certification called Comptia Pen Test Plus. Right? Think of this as intermediate cyber skills, red team, the red background there, Comptia marketing, okay? Comptia Pen Test Plus, it's red team offense, okay? And this is a pen test IT certification. Get this, folks, you ready? Don't fall out of your chairs. This is a pen test IT certification exam that actually makes the student in the exam do pen testing. That is not the case. If you know your certification exams, that's not the case with other certifications that claim to be about ethical hacking and or pen testing. Okay, so we've included that right in the exam. This has been very popular. The students who take it sometimes aren't crazy about it because it's a harder exam, but their bosses who want them to come back to work after taking the training and taking the exam, having actual pen testing experience, skills and experience that have been tested, bosses like it. Okay, Comptia Pen Test Plus. And then we have a Capstone Certification, CASP Plus. It's an acronym for Advanced Security Practitioner Plus, CASP Plus. And a question we get here is, well, Kevin, we're familiar with ISCs, CISSP, okay, which is a good cert. It's a good cert. So let me compare and contrast the two for you. If you want policy and procedures, okay, if you want the management track, and either because you never were hands-on the gear, or you're sick and tired of being hands-on and want to get off it and get into information assurance, cybersecurity policies and procedures, okay, then you want to go for ISCs, they're CISSP. Okay, it's a good cert, and every enterprise network organization needs one or more individuals who have their CISSP. Okay, so good one, good for you, go that route. We've built the opposite path, if you will, or the different path. Comptia Advanced Security Practitioner is technical, it's hands-on, it's for those who now have at least 5 to 10 years, really 10 years or more of relevant work experience, with at least 5 of those 10 years hands-on the gear, hands-on the network. and so their hands-on skills are current, either because they've always been hands-on or they've acquired the hands-on skills over the previous 10 plus years of their career. And now they want to validate that at a mastery level, they still have that hands-on capability. Think of ISC's CISSP certification. Think of that as kind of like getting your master's in Y around information assurance policies and procedures. Okay, the CISSP, that's for the Y. Okay, Comptia's CASP plus, CASP plus. Think of that as kind of like getting your master's in how that you can, at a mastery level, implement your organization's cybersecurity policies and procedures. Okay? Substantial difference between the two. Okay, and lots of information there. I know I have to leave time for questions, and I also know that I believe I know that there are some trainers that are on the call, folks who are instructors, trainers, many of you, and so I want to get a word in for our SIN. Okay, it's a terrible acronym. It's CIN, not SIN. CIN, Comptia Instructor Network. Okay, and you can find it at cin.comptia.org. Okay, and whether you're teaching Comptia certifications now, or it's a free resource, folks. Sign up for it. On the idea that maybe you might start teaching one or more Comptia certifications going forward. We have something like 7,000 instructors now in our Comptia instructor network. Free resource, always been free, always going to be free. It's not for selling. Okay, so you have to answer a few questions. It takes a couple minutes, but not much. At cin.comptia.org. Sign up if you're an instructor, or legitimately if you want to get into teaching and instructing. We'll accept those folks too. All right, but there are all manner of free resources in there, the latest and greatest on how to teach to all the current versions of all of our certifications. Every time we launch a new cert, every time we update an existing cert, we do an in-depth train the trainer video series, and then those videos are saved and left in the instructor network. All right, so you can come in and you've just, you know what, I want to start teaching Security Plus 601. Great. View these recordings. There are other resources there to help you to very quickly and effectively get up to speed on what you need to know, what you need to do to successfully teach Comptia Security Plus 601. Okay, so that's our CIN, Comptia Instructor Network, and you should take a look at it, please. I want to make a couple of quick comments in case anybody is US based and has to concern themselves with DoD 8570, 8140. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, that's okay. What I do want to mention for folks who do have to know about it, do have to care about it, is that the DoD CIO, okay, in the Pentagon, and yes, they have said this before, but they're saying it again now. One of these times it's going to be true. They are saying that before October 1st, before the end of the current U.S. federal fiscal year, they are going to publish the DoD 8140 instruction. Okay, from the date of publication, it could be sometime in August. If it's not in August, it'll definitely be sometime in September before October 1st. Whenever it gets published in the next couple of months, it will go into effect. It will become the new law of the land 1 year from date of publication. Comptia is, again, we're the largest of the IT accreditation bodies. We're going to get briefed by DoD CIO to understand what the changes are that are going to be as we all segue from following the 8570, the DoD 8570 manual and instruction, to this time next year having to follow the new DoD 8140 instruction. So for those of you in the US, those of you who work in federal government on the DoD side, or maybe you work for a government contractor organization, heads up, Comptia, in the months ahead, after we get briefed by DoD CIO and understand what the changes are, we'll be turning around to our customers and delivering webinars and probably other events to get the word out so that everybody can understand what's going on. Okay, and I'm going to skip over that. I just have to quickly mention, this is something relatively new from Comptia. Okay, we have our own learning solutions now. In the past several years, Comptia has stood up our internal publishing group, Comptia Learning, and we now have learning content in pretty much any and every modality that you might want to deliver a class, from asynchronous, self-paced to instructor-led, and hybrid mode and everything in between. So we have all that now, as you might ever need from us. Have to quickly mention about Comptia online testing. Before the COVID lockdown 2 years ago, the only way that you could take a Comptia exam was to find and drive to and go into one of the 5,000 plus Pearson VUE bricks and mortar online bricks and mortar testing facilities, physical testing facilities. Okay, and then they all closed for a while, unfortunately, with the COVID lockdown. They are now all back open, good news, but also shortly after things locked down in early 2020, Comptia agreed to put all of our certification exams up on Pearson VUE's online testing platform, Pearson OnVUE. And that has continued to this day, and that option is going to continue to this day. Just to mention, anyone who's okay, you've trained them, they've prepared in whatever way or ways for one of our certification exams, yes, they can still, often get in their car and drive to the local bricks and mortar Pearson VUE Test Center. They can take their exam there. For some, that's still the best way, the right way for them to go. But we continue to have, and Comptia has said going forward, we will always offer the online testing option for our certification exams. Okay, so know that that's available. All that's required there is a private room, office, room in your home, whatever it might be, and reliable internet connectivity. Okay, it doesn't have to be, Verizon Fios or Xfinity, full pipe. That's good if it is. That's great. It doesn't need to be, but as long as the internet connectivity is reliable, and you can prove to the internet proctor that you've got 4 walls around you, or 3 walls and a shut door in your office, in your home, wherever the location is, with reliable internet connectivity, you can test from there. Yeah. And so anybody who's on the call, who's been listening today, you're thinking about, gee, should we have a Comptia program? Why don't we have a Comptia program? Why aren't we doing something with Comptia? Why aren't we doing more with Comptia? Well, here's some things to think about. We're a nonprofit, okay? Now, we're not non-revenue. We need to charge something for our certification exams, and we now have training products that work very well, particularly for certain kinds of situations, certain types of students, okay? But when we do make a profit for an organization, we have a foundation. We put monies towards targeting at-risk youth to try to get them interested in IT work and to an IT career path, to get them a more solid future. We have organizations that we fund, like cyberseek.org and Tech Girls. I commend those organizations to you. If you think you might have an interest in cybersecurity work, you gotta go and look at cyberseek.org. Okay, you gotta. All right, we are the major funder of that website. We don't do the job posting compilation. Okay, we let a third-party research firm that specializes in that and can do it better than we can do it, EMSI Burning Glass, right? But if you were to go to cyberseek.org right now and just click into it, and if you're interested in maybe career changing or changing your IT focus into cybersecurity, cyberseek.org will point out to you that there are about, and this is just in the US, there are already today, right now, about 715,000 open IT job postings. Okay, there's about 1.1 million who are currently here in the US, 1.1 million who are currently working in cybersecurity. But let me say it again. In cybersecurity jobs specifically, about 715,000 open IT cybersecurity job postings today across the US. And CyberSeek as a website has got all those jobs categorized by the US NIST NICE cybersecurity work framework. And those jobs are also, they're situated geographically so that you can go in by US state, by US city, by US metro area to find which types of jobs are open today in that city, in that metro area, in that state. It's pretty powerful. I commend it to you, cyberseek.org. And so when you work with Comptia, when you have your IT, part of your IT workforce, pursue our certifications, okay? And any profit that we might realize from that, okay, goes to fund outreach like CyberSeek, Tech Girls, okay? We have an IT Ready program that's now through a technical academy that Comptia has started up in the last few years. That, as I said, targets at-risk youth, often in urban areas, and other typically underserved populations that are not well represented in IT today. And these are just some of the kinds of outreach that we do as a trade association to grow and develop and professionalize the global IT industry. Yeah. And that's what I've got. That's what I've got for today. And I'm happy to hang here for a little bit and see if we have any questions, and happy to answer them.